What if everything you thought you knew about George Washington wasn't the full story? Was he really the perfect, honest leader history paints him as? Did he actually have wooden teeth? And why did he almost refuse to become the first president? The truth is, Washington's life was far more complex, fascinating, and even surprising than what you learned in school. From myths that refuse to die to little-known facts that reveal his true character, let's uncover the real story behind America's most legendary founding father. Let's get started. Number 1. The Cherry Tree Story. Did George Washington really chop down a cherry tree and confess, "I cannot tell a lie"? No, this famous story is completely false. It was invented by a biographer named Parson Weems, who wanted to create a legend about Washington's honesty. There is no historical evidence that this event ever happened. However, the story became so popular that it was taught in schools for generations. While Washington was known for his strong character, this myth is just one example of how history sometimes exaggerates or even invents stories to make great figures seem even greater. Number 2. Washington was a huge dog lover. Washington wasn't just a military leader and president, he was also a passionate dog lover. He owned more than 30 dogs and is credited with developing the American foxhound breed. Washington's dogs had unique names like Sweetlips, Drunkard, and Vulcan, showing his playful side. But his love for animals wasn't just personal. He even showed kindness during war. In one remarkable event, he found a lost dog belonging to a British general and returned it with a polite note. This act of honor and compassion demonstrates a side of Washington that history books don't always emphasize. Number 3. No wooden teeth, but. One of the most common myths about George Washington is that he had wooden teeth. In reality, his dentures were made from human teeth, cow teeth, and ivory, held together with metal. Washington suffered from severe dental problems his entire life, losing most of his teeth by the time he became president. His dentures were so uncomfortable that they affected the way he spoke and even changed the shape of his face. The wooden teeth myth likely started because his dentures became stained and rough over time. While the truth may sound strange, it's a reminder that history isn't always what it seems. Number 4. He didn't even want to be president. It's hard to imagine the United States without George Washington as its first president, but he actually didn't want the job. After leading the country to victory in the Revolutionary War, Washington was ready to retire at his Mount Vernon estate. However, people saw him as the only leader capable of uniting the new nation. He was unanimously elected and reluctantly accepted the role out of duty. Even after his first term, he wanted to step down, but was convinced to stay for a second. Washington's presidency shaped the country, even though he never sought political power for himself. Number 5. One of the wealthiest presidents in history. Washington wasn't just a great leader. He was also one of the richest presidents in U.S. history. His wealth came from vast land ownership, farms, fisheries, mills, and even a successful whiskey distillery. Mount Vernon, his estate, spanned thousands of acres and required hundreds of workers to maintain. Despite his wealth, Washington often faced financial struggles due to the expenses of managing his properties. His fortune wasn't based on cash, but on assets, making him wealthy on paper, but sometimes short on liquid funds. Number 6. Washington, the whiskey entrepreneur. George Washington was not only a leader, but also a successful businessman. In 1797, he established a whiskey distillery at Mount Vernon, which became one of the largest in the United States. By 1799, it was producing over 11,000 gallons of rye whiskey annually. Washington saw the growing demand for whiskey and turned it into a profitable venture. Today, his distillery has been reconstructed as a historical site. While many know him as a president and general, few realize he also played a role in early American industry. Number 7. He never lived in the White House. Although George Washington chose the location for the White House, he never lived in it. The construction wasn't finished during his presidency, so he resided in executive mansions in New York and Philadelphia, which were the nation's capitals at the time. The first president to live in the White House was John Adams. However, Washington played a crucial role in planning Washington, D.C., the future capital named in his honor. His vision helped shape the city's design, ensuring it would become the political heart of the United States. Number 8. A surprisingly talented dancer. George Washington wasn't just a great leader. He was also an excellent dancer. He was particularly skilled in the minuet, an elegant and complex dance that required precision and grace. His dancing ability made him a favorite at social gatherings, where he impressed guests with his poise and charm. In the 18th century, dancing was a key part of high society, and Washington's talent reflected his refined character. While he was a fearless warrior, he also knew how to command attention on the dance floor with confidence and style. Number 9. He survived multiple near-death experiences. George Washington's life was filled with danger, yet he survived against incredible odds. In battle, bullets tore through his coat, but none struck him. As a teenager, he contracted smallpox, but recovered, gaining lifelong immunity. He also nearly drowned after falling into an icy river during a military expedition. Many believed he was protected by fate, as he repeatedly escaped life-threatening situations. His survival in these moments added to his legendary status, reinforcing the idea that he was destined for greatness and shaping his fearless approach to leadership. Number 10. He created the two-term tradition. George Washington set a powerful example by stepping down after 2 terms as president. Unlike many leaders who held on to power, he believed in a peaceful transfer of leadership. His decision set an unwritten rule that lasted until Franklin D. Roosevelt served 4 terms, leading to the 22nd Amendment, which officially limited presidents to 2 terms. Washington's choice showed his commitment to democracy over personal power. By voluntarily leaving office, he proved that true leadership is about service, not control, shaping the future of American politics forever. George Washington was more than just a founding father. He was a man full of surprises. From his love for dogs to his unexpected business ventures, his real story goes far beyond the history books. So, what fact shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SeeStew for more amazing stories. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring history.